Hey guys, welcome back to this new episode of R&D Garage. I apologize, we went a little bit on hiatus here. There's been so many cars and coffee that we've been either invited to or wanted to join in, and so that's kind of taking up the brunt of our time. But today we are back working on the fastback, on the window regulator, and I'm totally super excited. And again, I want to give a shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing my channel. And of course, everybody that's been there since the beginning, mwah, you know how I feel. So let's get going on this old girl. Okay guys, I took the window regulator back out. It was basically a test fit in the last video to talk a little bit more about this new switch. So it's by New Relics, and I already kind of described it a little bit in the last video, but what they want you to do is basically mount it here and drill some holes. 3 to be exact. So they do include a template, but to be honest, I think it's a lot easier for you guys if you take out the 3 Phillips screws, pull it apart, and then put this at the front so you know exactly where it will fit in. So you can kind of punch through and make your holes that way. So let's throw the sucker in. Okay guys, it's wiring harness time. Okay, this isn't as difficult as it seems, and actually the instructions are pretty simple. So what we're gonna do here is basically attach all 6 wires to the switch. So this is kind of cool. The outside, you'll notice they're a little bit long. Those go on the way outside each side of the switch. And then we've got red in the middle and then black. And if you accidentally put like this red over here, don't worry about it because it's basically the same thing. So, but just make sure you do have the red, black, and blue in the right place where it's supposed to go. So, okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna start inside and going out. So we have black on the very inside. And these will, let's see, okay. These will go in pretty easily. Just make sure it's in all the way. And then we have red. There we go. And you may even hear a little tiny snap. And then we've got the outside. There we go, beautiful. So now we're gonna do the other side. So we're starting again with black on the inside. Sorry, the DRD told me try not to move around much. There we go. And then we have red, beautiful. And then we have the outside. Now we'll show you what this looks like right now. See? Beautiful. Let's move on. Okay, so one cool thing, well, I mean, there's lots of cool things about this fastback, but another cool thing about this is that it came with deluxe interior, which means there was already wiring harnesses in here, and holes have already been punched, wiring harnesses have been run through, so this makes life a lot easier. However, if your Mustang does not have deluxe interior, you're gonna have to start punching your own. Not a big deal. Okay, so to make this even easier, I went ahead and taped a couple of the wires together, just so when you're running it through, you don't get, like separation, you don't lose one wire in the door and then have to cut your hand open trying to find it. And yeah, it just makes life easier. I already ran the red wire through, so it came out the middle of the door. What you want to do is put it in front of this window frame. If you put it in back and you roll down the window or, try to turn it or something, it'll cut the wire in half and then you're back to square one. So, okay, what I'm going to do now is continue running the wire through, and then I'm going to set up the switch so that it actually is in there with screws. It's very exciting. Okay, so I'm going to pull this in a little bit further, feed that in, and this side I'm now going to feed in the blue switch, but I'm actually going to put it on the opposite side of the door. We're going to come back to that later. Okay, now we're going to put in the switch. So this is actually kind of simple. It's a little bit easier than you'd think, because since the holes have already been drilled, all you need to do is stick the switch through and line it up. So let's do it. And again, be careful of your hands. Lots of sharp pieces. And obviously it doesn't matter if you scratch the switch because nobody's going to see it. Okay. Okay guys, after much fiddling, my holes are lined up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in the screws. And this is the bare. Let's see, because they always feel like they don't fit. There we go. Okay, and remember, don't put them in all the way until you have them all in. Make life a little bit easier. Okay, so we're still struggling with this last one, and finally we're in. Okay, so I'm going to finger tighten these down, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my ratchet. There we go. Okay, so first, oh, that was good. You know you're doing pretty good if your finger tight is about as good as the ratchet gets it too. Okay, let's move on. Okay guys, so we have a lot to unpack in this little segment here. First of all, you can see that my window regulator is halfway in. I've taken off the safety bolt, so be sure to do that, or safety screw. I also basically taped the kind of slide, the window slide right here, to the window regulator just to kind of make it easier to put the whole part in. So that's done. I've also greased everything up with red wheel bearing grease, high temp wheel bearing grease. Do that. Do not use white lithium grease on this. It will dry out, it'll crack, it will be a mess. Please, please, please do not use white lithium grease. Okay, moving on. Now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna leave this as is, and now I am gonna hook up the little harness here, the clip to the actual window regulator. And so this actually goes on the bottom, and this little ear faces down, and it fits in. Are you gonna take the camera and, yeah. I think he's going to come in over my shoulders. You can guys exactly see where this is going to go. So we'll give him a second here. I'm going to turn him back and grab my flashlight. Okay. If you guys see that right here, it goes in the bottom in this guy right here, which I probably just blocked. Okay. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and insert it just so. There we go. It's good to get a good grip on it. Perfect. And of course it's, there we go. And I even heard a satisfying click. That is now connected. Let's move on. Okay guys, now we're gonna bolt the window regulator back in the door. So remember, we have to line up the screws and everything. Let's get her done. And again, you may want to wear gloves because everything on these old cars is sharp. And it likes to stick. There we go. So you see, everything is lining up right now, or barely, but it's basically in the right position. So I'm gonna, oh. I can't reach. Thank you. I'm telling you guys. Again with my stupid hand. There we go. Whew. And they're also greasy. There we go. And I like figuring out which one to do next. Okay, I'll do this one. That is not in. Okay, you know what? You're the easy guy. I'm just gonna go back with you. No, I got it. I lost the washer. Okay. No. And of course it's a million degrees today, which seems to make every job just a little bit harder. Now it's kind of getting easier. Perfect. Okay, now we're on the last one. There we go. That one does not want to go in. Okay. And sometimes you have to re-loosen to get the last sucker to fit. There we go. Finally, finally, finally. It's just everything's so greasy, and so my hands are like slipping. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and finger tight. There we go. Okay, and let's do a little ratchet. Beautiful. Okay, guys, this part's done. Let's move on. Okay, now I'm going to put in the rear window slide, and I'm literally just going to let it sit in the bottom for now. This one's a bit of a bear, which you'll find out in a second. Okay, so we're going to kind of, actually, no. We're going to go like this. Ooh, it makes a lovely sound. Okay, and I'm just going to put it over there for now. Next step. Okay guys, so that slider is in, it's still sitting at the bottom, and now I'm going to put the window glass in. So like I said before, the paint on this car is crap and we're going to do a respray anyway, but if your paint is nice, go ahead and tape up the edges because you don't want to chip your fresh paint or your nice paint. Okay, so what we're going to do, like I just said, is put the window glass in, and then Dee's going to come over and put a clamp on it, and then we're going to try to show you how the slider goes on the window. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a bear to actually film, so we may just do it and then take pictures afterwards, but that's kind of the plan. Okay, so again, be careful with this window glass and try not to hit the car like that. Okay, and so this piece, there we go. So you see how it's in. And you want to get it to match up, and then this side still should go down just a little bit. And I'm stuck on like something.
Yes, I'll get you the door.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to get that clamp on because this is heavy.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm still going to hold on to this side. And yeah, let's get that slider onto the window. Okay guys, remember those two white rollers on the back of the slider? Now we're going to put that onto the window mechanism. So again, I don't know how we're actually going to show you guys this, but we'll take lots of pics, I promise. So I'm going to start by kind of lifting it up and going for it. Okay guys, well, it's on. I'm going to snug down these two bolts right here, one on this side and then one on the outside of the door. So it is on. Ah, there we go. Okay, and now we're going to do this guy right here. Oh, which is actually a different size. Okay, that one was already pretty tight. Sweet, let's move on. Okay, we got another window roller track here. So what this is basically meant to do is slide in the track like that. And then we're gonna finagle it a little bit and, well, you'll see where it ends up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is slide it through like that, but we also have to push it at the same time. And so it should line up, it should. Okay, and it's slippery, obviously, because of the lubricant, but that is not where it's supposed to go. So, oh, there we go. Okay, so that is in. I'm gonna put the nuts on, but you guys, this was frustrating just because it was so slippery, and so we've basically shot this like 5 times now. Okay, let's put that guy on, and this guy. Son of a... There we go. Okay. Go ahead and ratchet. Okay, that's on. Let's move on. Okay guys, so I actually hooked up my window regulator to the battery, so we get a little bit of play with the window regulator here, because there are 3 screws that have to go in. And you may have to adjust your window down about 1 inch or so to line them all up, not a big deal. Again, clamps are an easy solution to have, you know, it held up for you. But, I mean, if you have another person helping you, I think that's actually best, because I don't quite trust those clamps. So let's get to the screws. I already started them. There's one through there. There's one through there, and there's one through there right there. Okay, let's go ahead and tighten these. One. It's 2, and this guy's a little hard to see. There we go. Okay. All 3 screws are in. Again, they can be a little bit slippery at first. I was having a little bit of issues with the red grease covering everything. But once they're in, you're pretty much good to go. Let's move on to the next step. Okay guys, so we still have window stops and other things to put on, but I think we're gonna stop here for the night. But check this out. Power windows in the fastback. Right on. Okay, well, I'm super excited. But anyway, thanks as always for watching this R&D Garage video. I appreciate you guys so much. Please subscribe, please comment, please share my videos, because we got a lot more cool stuff coming up. Thanks again.